Have you ever felt that money has a way of finding some people effortlessly while for others, it always seems to slip away like sand between their fingers? What if the difference is luck, intelligence, or timing, but a hidden truth that only a few ever discover? Why now, you're standing at the doorway of that truth. A secret whispered through generations, never written in books, never spoken aloud because its power fades the moment it's revealed to the wrong ears. But today the universe has chosen you to hear it. So pause. Listen closely. Because over the next 7 minutes, you're about to uncover something extraordinary, a practice so simple yet so sacred that it can shift the flow of money, opportunity, and destiny itself. Stay until the very end, because once you know the secret, your life will never return to ordinary. There was a time in my life when everything felt like a struggle. I worked harder than ever, yet money vanished as quickly as it came. Every bill felt heavier, every dream more distant. I remember sitting alone one night, staring at the ceiling, whispering to myself, "Why does it feel like the universe has forgotten me?" That was the moment I first felt it, a gentle nudge, a quiet pull, almost like someone calling my name in the silence. It was the voice I could hear, but a feeling I couldn't ignore, something inside urging me to listen, to pay attention, to go beyond logic and step into faith. Days later, that same energy guided me toward an old bookshop, one I had passed 100 times without noticing. And there, tucked away on the lowest shelf, was a thin, faded volume with one name glimmering faintly across its cover: Florence Scovel Shinn. From the moment I touched that book, something within me shifted. I didn't know it yet, but that was the beginning of everything, the awakening that would reveal the secret most people live their entire lives without ever discovering. At night, I couldn't sleep. The words on those pages seemed to come alive, whispering straight into my soul. Florence wrote of a hidden law that governs every life, a law so precise that even the stars obey it. She said, "Nothing is withheld from those who speak their desires into existence with faith." At first, I didn't understand. But something in me knew this was no ordinary teaching. It was a map to unseen power. I began to see that everything I had been taught about money was upside down. I was chasing something that was never meant to be chased. The harder I ran after it, the further it drifted away. Florence's words revealed the truth that money is not a goal, but a mirror. It reflects the state of your inner world. Change the inside, and the outside must follow. That's when I understood the secret. It wasn't about working harder or doing more. It was about alignment. About speaking the right words, holding the right energy, and allowing the universe to respond to your vibration. Florence called it the divine law of attraction, but it felt even deeper, as if the entire universe was waiting for me to remember what I had always known. And from that night forward, I made a silent vow to test the secret for myself, in complete privacy, just as Florence advised. Little did I know the results would be miraculous. Florence wrote that the universe is like a silent servant, responding not to your words, but to the energy behind them. Every thought you think, every feeling you hold, sends a vibration into the invisible. That vibration becomes the blueprint of your reality. When I read that, something within me trembled. Could it really be that simple? Could all the struggle, all the chasing, have been unnecessary? I decided to try it. One morning, before the world awoke, I sat in silence. I closed my eyes, breathed slowly, and whispered softly, "Money comes to me easily and effortlessly." I didn't beg, didn't hope, didn't doubt, I simply felt it. I imagined golden light surrounding me, flowing through my chest, filling my hands until they tingled. I saw myself smiling as unexpected blessings appeared out of nowhere. Something strange happened in that stillness. My heartbeat slowed. My mind stopped racing. It was as though the noise of fear and worry had vanished. In that moment of peace, I sensed it, a magnetic current, a pull between my inner world and the world outside. It was invisible, but I could feel it moving. Florence had been right all along. The secret isn't about chasing wealth, it's about becoming it. When you hold the energy of abundance, the universe must reflect it back to you. That's not magic, it's divine mathematics. The outer world rearranges itself to match the inner vibration. And the more you practice the silence, the stronger that magnetic field becomes until money has no choice but to find its way to you. Days passed, and I continued the silent practice every morning. 7 minutes of stillness, 7 minutes of trust. At first, nothing seemed to change. The world outside looked the same, yet something inside me was shifting quietly. The fear that once tightened my chest began to soften. I no longer woke up worried about what might go wrong. Instead, I felt guided as if invisible hands were arranging my days with care. And the first sign appeared. A forgotten payment found its way back to me, a refund I had expected. A day later, an old client called, offering work I didn't even apply for. It was as if the universe had been listening all along, waiting for my permission to bless me. In that moment, I realized this wasn't coincidence, it was confirmation. The vibration had shifted. Each time I sat in silence, I could feel the magnetic pull grow stronger. Money wasn't something distant anymore. It felt alive, a friend returning home. My energy, my confidence, my words all began to change. I no longer asked when abundance would arrive. I knew it already had. That's the miracle of inner transformation. Once your energy becomes wealth, life mirrors it without delay. The universe does respond to your struggle, it responds to your state. And when that state is gratitude, ease, and certainty, everything begins to flow. The more my reality began to shift, the stronger my urge became to share the secret with others. I wanted to tell everyone how life had started unfolding like magic. But each time I almost spoke, a quiet whisper within reminded me the silence protects the power. Florence's words echoed in my mind like sacred instructions. She had written that every great manifestation begins as a delicate flame, small, pure, and fragile. If exposed too soon to the winds of doubt, it flickers and fades. And so, I guarded my practice like a hidden treasure. I spoke to no one about it. I let the results speak for themselves. Then, something extraordinary happened. The flow of money didn't just continue, it multiplied. Opportunities appeared effortlessly. People began to ask, "What changed about you?" I only smiled. Because what had truly changed was my circumstances, it was me. That's when I finally understood the real power of silence. It's not emptiness, it's energy gathering strength. In that stillness, the invisible becomes unstoppable. One evening, as I sat in quiet reflection, I realized something profound. The secret was never truly about money. It was about remembering who I really am. The wealth I had been chasing was only a reflection of my own forgotten power. Money was simply the mirror, showing me the state of my belief. The more I aligned with peace, the more abundance flowed. The more I trusted, the faster it came. I understood then that the universe isn't testing us, it's teaching us how to receive. Every moment of lack was never punishment, it was an invitation to awaken. And in that instant, I smiled, because I finally knew, I am not seeking prosperity, I am the source of it. I am the magnet, the current, the abundance itself, and the universe has always been listening. If these words have awakened something inside you, if you can feel the quiet truth of this message resonating in your heart, then type in the comments, "The silence protects the power." Let that be your declaration to the universe that you are ready to receive. Remember, you are not chasing prosperity, you are remembering it. A flow of money, love, and opportunity is already moving toward you. All you must do is stay still, stay silent, and allow it in. Like, subscribe, and join this circle of awakened creators and watch how effortlessly abundance finds you.